All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on this great episode of your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, today is the 10th and final day of the End Bad Governance Protest Part 1. I call it Part 1 because I know that this is the beginning of a long fight, a very long fight between the poor, indigent, and frustrated people of this country and the political class. Because from the history of our politicians and successive governments in Nigeria, it is clear to see that the people of this country are always taken for granted. They've been always taken for granted. So the government of the day will return to propaganda and lies. But the hunger and poverty that will worsen in the coming days for sure will be true. So true that Nigerians will be forced to go on the streets again very soon. Already, many groups are saying if their demands are not met, they will not stop protesting. Many Nigerians are ready to have a nation that works, but the irresponsible political class are the stumbling block. And few hours ago, Aso Rock, using Tinubus' wife, Remi Tinubu, came up with another ridiculous trick to try to deceive angry Nigerians. But she was ridiculed with her husband because Nigerians are no longer that stupid to fall for cheap, silly tricks. The power of their ethnic and religious games has greatly reduced, and the political class are now left confused. The tricks don't work anymore. The only thing left for them is the use of force, the use of police and soldiers, and even that can be countered. We are already seeing it being countered in northern Nigeria. Before I show you that Aso Rock trick executed by Remi Tinubu and rejected by angry Nigerians, let me quickly show you this video that underscores the plight of the average Nigerian. See the video.
I think one way of looking at it is to realize that Nigerians have always been very deeply committed to democracy, but we are finding out now that our leaders have never been committed to democracy. They've been committed to the acquisition of power and the use of power for self-aggrandizement, but not governance. Governance is about providing for the people. It's about addressing the problems that affect the people. It's about improving lives, livelihoods, and people's welfare. And these are what we have not had. And the tragedy of Nigeria is when you count back from 1999, each regime that comes into power, each government that comes into power is worse than the previous one. Obasanjo, that we criticize so heavily, is now standing upright as the most competent and committed government we have had. The person who succeeded him, unfortunately, didn't have the health to do much. Then Jonathan came out, and he turned out to be much worse. And we were saying with Jonathan, this is the first university graduate that's ruling this country. We will see evidence of that education in the governance. It turned out to be all about corruption. Jonathan left, then Buhari came out, definitely worse than Jonathan. And now Nigerians are in their hundreds of thousands in the streets saying that the current Tinubu administration is the worst we have seen when you take your index as misery and suffering of the people. How can we sustain a country when each government that comes in is worse than all the previous ones?
You heard that. That was Professor Jibrin Ibrahim, Senior Fellow, Center for Democracy and Development. Now, this interview he granted sparked so much discussion and reactions on the Nigerian media space, but my take on this is simple. As a people, we must understand the concept of actions and consequences. When you take certain actions, some consequences are inevitable. The fact that successive governments are worse than previous ones in Nigeria is not a coincidence. It's just a consequence of our own actions as it relates to who we allow to lead us. The difference between Obasanjo and Jonathan was not much. Even though Obasanjo was better, Jonathan didn't perform badly because he had genuine leadership qualities. But then we got Buhari in next and things began to seriously fall apart. That was our action and we got the consequences. Then we allowed the system to bring in Tinubu. And here we are. These are all consequences of our actions and only we can change it. Point blank, period. Now, let us look at that trick from Aso Rock executed by Remi Tinubu and rejected by Nigerians. Look at how the papers reported it. Tinubu's wife pledges to empower 37,000 petty traders. Oluremi Tinubu has promised to empower 37,000 petty traders across the country as a way of cushioning the effect of the economic difficulty on women. Mrs. Tinubu made the pledge on Friday in Enugu when she declared open this year's August meeting organized by the wife of the Enugu State Governor, Nkechinyere Mba. She said, through her Renewed Hope Initiative Women Economic Empowerment, 1,000 petty traders in each state of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, would be supported. Mrs. Tinubu, represented by wife of the Vice President Nana Shetima, said, our women will be supported with 50,000 naira each to recapitalize and support their businesses. Through the Renewed Hope Initiative, we are working tirelessly toward a better life for families. The scope of our program covers education, social investment programs, agriculture, health, and economic empowerment. In economic empowerment, we have provided women with ICT training to improve digital skills. In education, we have provided scholarships to our children and youth across the country with the opportunity to study abroad. Also, in agriculture, we have supported our women farmers with fertilizers and farming implements. Under our social investment program, assorted food items are moving from one state to another. You heard that. She declared open this year's August meeting. If you like, declare September meeting open. Open all the ember months. Nigerians will no longer be deceived. For the past 3 months, Remi Tinubu has been talking about giving 50,000 naira to 1,000 women in each state, including FCT. We have not seen anything. And that money is just a form of vote buying because he does not do anything to the families of those women or their businesses. There's nothing it can improve with the state of the Nigerian economy. Secondly, you have been talking about it for a long time. We have not seen it. Then thirdly, 1,000 women in each state. What is 1,000 women compared to several hundreds of thousands that are dying of poverty? And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here says, in a country of 200 million with more than 60% living in poverty, this is finish. I'm telling you. And Comrade Issa responded. He said, they think we are fools. That is it. You cause massive poverty and then you handpick a few and give them 50,000 naira. Money will not go even reach them. And Oshun First Son here says, I nearly fell off my couch while laughing. It's so funny. And Toyin Adeyemi here says, please, enough, madam. Just tell your husband to resign and go back to Lagos. Una no win any elections. And BD here says, this is not what we want. Nigeria makes trillions of dollars every day. Where all those money they go? That is the truth. Nigerians are asking for accountability. And in other news, former President Olusegun Obasanjo roars. He says, most Nigerian leaders should be behind bars. Gallows, that is a place where people are hanged to death. Former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo on Friday expressed disapproval at the current state of the country, saying that the majority of its leaders should be behind bars or gallows instead of public offices. Obasanjo, who spoke while addressing 6 lawmakers from the House of Representatives, maintained that in choosing good leaders, character must be considered and questioned. The former president asserted that until leaders changed their mentality, the country would never see the change it desired. Our main problem is ourselves, and until we take care of ourselves, we may have one term of 4 years, one term of 6 years, one term of 7 years. If it's the same people and same mentality and way we do things, then it won't change. Yes, system. Yes, democracy. We have to rethink democracy. We have to rethink the form of government. But what is the character of the people in government? With all due respect, most of them should be behind bars. Some of them should even be in the gallows. And that is the truth. Now, if these are the people that are ruling us, then what do you expect? So the point is, the character of the people that are coming to government, their attributes, the sort of people they truly are. We need to really think about how we select leaders. What should be the character of a leader we select? What should be their track record? Where should we find them? Are they role models? And I think those are the first things we have to think about, he stated. Now, I keep saying this. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo was never a saint, but he had good leadership qualities. And we saw how he performed after taking over from Abdul Salam. He was able to reshape the economy, reshaped the banking sector, got us a debt relief that brought stability to the Naira. But look at what we have today under the APC. Some of the greediest ever Nigerians. As a matter of fact, some of the greediest humans walking the face of the earth. And look at where that has landed us as a nation. And Obasanjo is saying most of them should be behind bars or at the gallows. That means they should be hanged. But who are the people at the receiving end of all these? It is Nigerians. We are the ones dying of hunger, poverty, and hopelessness. And only we can free ourselves. Obasanjo's position on character explains why he supported Peter Obi in the last elections. Because when we talk about character in the political class presently, no one comes near Obi, and Nigerians still have the chance to redeem themselves. Anyway, make I leave am here. Make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because now because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go